Hello everybody, what's up? CaptainTurbo here, and welcome to the 12-year anniversary retrospective. Now, a quick note before we even begin, guys, I am actually really under the weather. I've got some kind of virus at the moment, and I really don't feel too good, but at the end of the day, I've got to get this done. You know, I mean, I've still got plenty of time before the actual anniversary rolls around. We've got nearly 6 weeks, but I don't have as much time to record as I used to, so I'm taking full advantage of the fact I do have a day today. But if I do have to pause, just to gather my bearings or whatever, I apologize in advance, and you probably will hear me take a swig of my drink, because, you know, best to drink plenty of fluids. So if you've never watched one of these videos before, what happens is I usually give a brief look back on the previous year. On a more personal level, I've started doing that anyway for the last couple of years. Then after that, we'll take a look at what I've got planned for the next 12 months. And then after that, basically any other information I need to give out, like, I don't know, changes to the channel that'll be coming up and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. But yeah, there you go. It's not actually it's not actually rocket science or anything like that. It's very simple and straightforward. I used to go over the last 12 months as well, but honestly, you can easily see on my channel what's gone up over the last 12 months, so I'm not going to go too much into depth with that, so there you go. So we are going to start off, obviously, with the personal stuff from last year. Some really bad stuff, some bad stuff, well, some really bad personal stuff, some bad channel stuff, and then we have a little bit of light-hearted news to end the section off on. So quick heads up here, yes, we're still at the flat, the apartment, whatever you want to call it. It's been a little over a year now since we arrived here. Getting around to, well, I'll go more into that a little bit later, but it definitely looks like we're staying here for this foreseeable future now. We're a little bit more relaxed here now, we're a little bit more settle in. You know, it was a rough transition, not gonna lie. Obviously, being a you know, being at that place, back at the house for over 30 years, like 31, 32 years, whatever it was. You know, it was a rough transition, just purely for the fact that, you know, I've never known another home, so yeah, it wasn't exactly a simple transition, but I'll go more into that in a moment. But yeah, we're still here, so I'm still having to do things in a certain way, but again, I'll go into that later. I said I also had it's technically bad news, but it's not really no news at the moment. So I don't know who knows, but the UK decided to bring in this ridiculously stupid online safety act, which requires you to give a form of photo ID or a selfie or something when you're using websites. Badly thought out, honestly an impinge against freedom as well, in my opinion. I know, you know, we're not America, but still it is an impeach of freedom and privacy. And the thing is, YouTube are probably going to be changing things around soon, and I do not know if I'm still going to be able to upload videos when this happens. So here's the thing, I refuse to have my picture online anywhere. Like, if you scour the internet, you might find, and you were able to dig deep enough, you might be able to find a couple pictures of me from back when I used to have Facebook, and even before that, back when I used to have MySpace. But you would struggle to find those, because I deleted those accounts years ago. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but it'd be very difficult, and that was back when I was in my late teens, early 20s. You've got no chance of seeing anything from the last 10 to 15 years. Well, 10 years anyway. I was definitely no older than 21, I want to say, when I last uploaded the picture. And considering that I'm 36 now, that is saying something. I just do not agree with it at all, and I will not have my face on the internet. At the moment, I'm currently able to bypass certain things with a VPN, so that's good, but unfortunately they're also talking about, you know, bringing in a law to ban VPNs, you know, because it's all about protecting the children, even though a lot of children wouldn't know how to set up a VPN. You know, they would have to have a bank account in order to set up a VPN and all that jazz. But no, it's about protecting the children, he says sarcastically. And like I said, the issue is I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do this much longer just for that alone. It is a problem. I'm hoping that, you know, at some point there's a massive uprising and somebody just slaps Starmer in his fucking cabinet across the fucking face, because I am sick to fucking death of all of them. They have done nothing but screw up. I mean, alright, I'll say it right now, it was the Tories that set up the law, but it was the Labour Party that, you know, put it in action, and it's just been a complete mess, and I just refuse to have my face online. So if the time comes where I have to choose between this and having my face online, then I'll just step away from YouTube, I guess, because I just will not do it. I won't post my face on the internet. I just refuse to do it. But thankfully, at the moment, it's not a issue, but I do think it is going to be a issue in the future. I'm hoping that I can definitely do a 13th anniversary year retrospective next year, but by that point, it may have already come into fruition, and I will have had to step aside, but you never know. So I am not necessarily big news, but I did want to talk about this as well. I have finally found my voice a little bit better here at the flat/apartment. Last year I wasn't sure if I was going to be doing this much longer, apart from like the backlog, of course. Just purely for the fact it's a much smaller space. It's a much you know, I've got to be more concerned with the neighbors and stuff now. Thankfully, I have sort of found my voice. I've sort of got, I wouldn't say the confidence, but I've got the ability to redo this. I don't do this too often. Like I said, I'm still taking advantage of, like today is currently the middle of the afternoon. My parents are out, so I'm happily recording this. I could be doing something at night. Sometimes, you know, I still do the wrestling watch-alongs with the guys and stuff. But doing Let's Plays and stuff has been a little bit on and off. I have actually recorded a decent amount. I've recorded a big chunk of a fairly big Let's Play, over 60 parts of that. I've recorded a bunch of smaller stuff, like I think I've done like 4 or 5 little... I think I've done 4 smaller Let's Plays. I have done technically it was a project that I'll go into later for the future stuff, because it will be going up pretty soon, starting next week I think, but I'll go about into that in the future section. But I have recorded a decent amount in the past 12 months. Like I've easily recorded over 100 videos, just Let's Play stuff with commentary alone. Actually not easily over 100, but over 100. Which isn't bad, to be fair. I didn't think I'd get anywhere near that. I thought I was going to have to slow down, but for the time being, we can probably, as long as you know that stupid Online Safety Act doesn't screw things, I can probably keep going as we are with Tuesday and Thursday uploads. So, yeah, that's something to be happy about at the very least. Another good thing I want to bring up is, well, I say good thing, but it's just a nice little bit of information. We've actually surpassed 200 subscribers. I never actually thought I'd get there. I think this time last year I was roughly at around 180, which, you know, fantastic in its own right for me. The last year, though, we have jumped up to about 210 subscribers, which I am really, really surprised but pleased with. A very quick thank you to everybody who has subscribed over the last year or so. It has been a bit of a growth year from my channel, especially. I mean, well over 30 subscribers in the last 12 months. That is unheard of for me. I'm just genuinely blown away that I've got that many subscribers. Like, I've always said, as long as I had even just 1 subscriber, I would keep doing this. You know, not just, you know, please don't take that as a challenge and everybody don't subscribe or anything, but I enjoy doing this, so I'll keep doing it. But it is nice that, you know, the videos are having further reach. I guess it's just nice to know that some people do put my videos on, whether it's background noise or whatever. You know, I don't think anybody actually watches my Let's Plays because they, you know, they think it's a good Let's Play. Let's be honest, I am pretty terrible at this. But it is nice to know that I'm still getting subscribers. It's just an interesting little tidbit. Alright, so if you skipped the first section, welcome back. We're going to be talking about what we've got coming up in the next 12 months. So I'm going to go over the stuff that's going to be carrying on first, and then we'll talk about what we've got coming up that's brand new later at the end of the section. Alright, so bear with me because I've lost the page I had a minute ago. Oh Christ, screwing this up. I do this every year actually. I screw this up and I get really annoyed at myself. Alright, let's start with the big one. Obviously, we've got Final Fantasy 14. I don't know what part we're going to currently have coming up next. But yeah, this is still going strong. Nova and I did actually do a recording session a couple weeks ago. I believe at the time I'm recording this, I am planning to get another month subscription because we're really close to the end of the first half of Shadowbringers. And I want to make sure we get that done in time. Plus, I've actually been doing 14 for the QFB Quest of Booty sessions as well, so I've actually been learning more on my own with that, even if I'm playing a completely different character. So I'm able to bring that to the table with the Let's Play. At some point during the next 12 months, we will also actually be hitting Shadowbringers on the channel going public as well, so yeah, you've got that to look forward to. I don't know at what point. I think it's mid-year, maybe a bit early, I'm not really sure, but yeah, we have been enjoying Shadowbringers so far. Well, I've been enjoying Shadowbringers so far. Still don't think anything's topping Stormblood for the time being, but we'll see when we get to Endwalker, I guess. But as I said, we still got plenty of Shadowbringers left to go. We've only done the first half. But that's all I really have to say on that one. Alright, next up we have Mass Effect 2. So I'm gonna say this right now, this upcoming year will be the final year that's a full year of Mass Effect 2 because we are getting close to the end of the game. This has been a very, very long ongoing Let's Play. I did not think it would take this long to get finished in terms of it going public. But it is a pretty long game. Like I've said before, I think apart from 14, this is my longest Let's Play on my channel. I don't really have a whole lot to say at this. By the end of the year, I believe at that point we will be either starting or getting close to starting the final DLC. To be fair, you get like the end of the game, which will be this year obviously as well. The so-called I'll get monetized for this, but Suicide Mission it's called. But then you also, that doesn't really count as the thing that leads into Mass Effect 3, because you've got one of the DLCs that technically leads into that. So the DLC is actually the final thing we'll be doing, but we will not be finishing that until next year, from November 26 until 2027. So yeah, that is next year, but we're getting really, really close to finishing the game off at this point. Assassin's Creed 2. Yes, it'll be finishing off this year actually as well. I probably should have brought that up later, but never mind. I'm just going in order of what I've got here on the list. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. So you know, you guys know I love Assassin's Creed. I won't spoil. Well, I'll spoil. I'm currently recording Revelations, but we've also got Brotherhood first. Yeah, we'll be continuing on with the Assassin's Creed series for a little while as well. Not going to jump straight into the next game though yet. We're not going to jump straight into Brotherhood. That will go live at some point, but not for a while. But it's going to take most of the year to finish. I believe the final part for that goes up live. Let me take a quick look here. Around September the 17th. But yeah, we showcased pretty much everything we needed to. We showcased anything that was story related, anything that counted towards DLC. I don't actually know if Assassin's Creed 2 had DLC. But anything story related, we showcased it off in the Let's Play, so I'm actually fairly happy with how that Let's Play came out, to be fair. It's not terrible. I'll get over this one quickly as well. Lego Star Wars is finally, I believe, coming to an end this year as well. Let me just double check. I know we're doing episode 5, and yes, we are also doing episode 6. Yeah, this has been a long Let's Play as well. We're not doing it all in one chunk. We'll be doing episode 5 at the beginning of the year, like the first video. Obviously, we did episode 5 parts 1 and 2 already last year. Like from November the 6th last week was part 2 of episode 5, and then on the 18th is going to be part 3 of episode 5. Obviously they're not labeled like that, they're just parts, like it'll be like part 17, 18, whatever. But you get what I mean. Each section is broken up into parts, so there you go. Part 5 will be finishing, I believe, mid-December, and then we'll be starting episode 6 around June, and then we'll be finishing that off I believe around August or September, I'm not really sure. But yeah, the actual Let's Play itself is coming to an end this year, so I'm glad to see the back end of that, to be honest, because it was a bit of a spotty Let's Play, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. It wasn't great. The problem I had is I was very keen to start it, but by the time I got past episode 1, I was kind of already burned out of the game, so there you go. It's why it took so long to finish. Xenoblade Chronicles, carrying on. Episode 35, I believe, will be the next part going live very, very shortly. This is another Let's Play that might get finished next year. I'm not 100% certain, but we still have quite a big chunk of the game left to go, so and there you go with that one. I don't really have anything to say on this. I believe at this point we're roughly around the midway part of the game and the Let's Play. Like I said, the storytelling was fine. I kind of wish I hadn't had it on the easiest setting, but it is what it is, and I'm certainly not going to go back and play it from the start just to, you know, fix my mistakes with it. It is what it is. If you don't like it, fair enough. At the end of the day, I kind of wish I'd have gone back to finish it. Gone back to redo it before I let it go public. There's actually a reason the thumbnails for this game are the older thumbnails. It's because it was in the backlog for so long. You know, I think I started recording that pre-pandemic, so yeah, that's how long ago I started it. Probably around 2018, 2019, something akin to that, I'm not sure. But yeah, it is what it is. Alright, next up we have the continuation of South Park: The Stick of Truth. So yeah, we're not going to finish this one off either this year, but we will get towards the end of the game as well. I really do enjoy this game. I think it's one of my favourite games from that year it came out. I think this Let's Play came out okay. I don't think it was terrible. Obviously, I did play on an easier setting just to make sure I could get through the game in a decent amount of time, but you know, it is what it is. I don't really think there's much I would have changed about this, other than obviously my commentary, of course. Here and there could have been better, but other than that, the gameplay came out fine. So yeah, you've got plenty more South Park: Stick of Truth to come. Next part should be, I believe, on the 9th of December, according to the list here. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Our current ongoing 100th Let's Play Spectacular, Sonic 06, will of course continue on throughout the year, once every 5 weeks roughly. First up will be the November 25th with part 16 of the Let's Play. I believe we will be finishing off Sonic's story at least, and heading straight into Silver's shortly after that as well. And then we'll be doing Shadow's after Silver, but I don't know if we're going to get to Shadow's story this year. This one's going to take a while to finish off, but it is what it is. Because I'm only doing one video roughly per month, every 5 to 6 weeks or so. Yeah, it's going to take another couple of years for this to finish, probably. We might get it done next year, I'm not 100% certain. I actually have it down on the list if we get it done. Okay, so I don't know if we get it done next year, but we'll get close to getting it done next year, so there you go. So I'm just having a quick look, guys, just to make sure, and I think that might be it for the Let's Plays that are going to be continuing for the next, either continuing or finishing this year. But we do have some brand new Let's Plays coming up. We've got a total of 4 Let's Plays. Well, technically I've got 2 Let's Plays that are going to start and finish this year. And then we've got 2 Meteor Let's Plays that will be starting and taking the place of Assassin's Creed 2 and Lego Star Wars. So let's go into the smallest stuff first, just because obviously, well, that'll be coming up first. So when is the first video? There is on January the 6th. We are jumping once again into my past. In fact, we pretty much could say that about all the Let's Plays here. I am going to be doing Rugrats: The Search for Reptar, the PlayStation 1 game, the terrible PlayStation 1 game actually. Basically, it's a series of mini-game-esque video game. It's not particularly great. I had this growing up. I very much enjoyed it. I really did. I don't really have a whole lot to say on this one. I'll talk about it obviously during the Let's Play. It's not a good game. I wanted something simpler to do, something easy. I've had this in the backlog also for a couple of years, like 2 years maybe, 2 maybe 3, I'm not entirely sure. It's not a particularly long Let's Play, like I said. I think it's about 5 or 6 parts. Yeah, there's 6 parts. The final part will be on April the 7th. So I will say with this game, if you do know how it works, you need to collect Reptar puzzle pieces and you finish the game with that. You can't actually see every mission in one go through, just because of how the game's set up. You'll never have to do all of them, and unfortunately you don't get the choice of whether or not you do them. But I actually do show excuse me. Sorry, I did say I may have to take a swig of my drink. So I do make sure I showcase all the mini games, and everything I can think to show off in the game is going to be there. So yeah, it's pretty much 100% Let's Play without actually, you know, technically being 100%, because I don't think you can really 100% this game. Alright, starting on April the 21st, we have Sylvester and Tweety Cagey Capers for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. This is another one I had during my childhood. I never beat it as a kid. This one actually does have a bit of personal attachment to me. This was the final Let's Play I recorded at the house. I recorded it not this March, but the March previously. So yeah, it was the final Let's Play I recorded here. It is basically a 2D platformer with a slight puzzle elements and stuff. I had it as a kid, like I said. I never actually beat it. Like I said, last March I decided to play the game through just to see if I could maybe beat it, and I managed to beat it in less than an hour. And I thought, you know what, I could probably do a Let's Play this, no problem. And I think the very next day I recorded the Let's Play, and it was simple, it was straightforward. I enjoyed the game, I think it's fun. Fantastic graphics if you ask me. It's not a long Let's Play, it's only 3 parts, but I hope you guys really do enjoy this. The final part will be going up on June the 2nd, so hopefully you'll enjoy that one when it comes out. Okay, so I'm not entirely certain which game is going to be taking over which game. Obviously, like I say, Assassin's Creed 2 and Lego Star Wars are finishing. I don't know which one of these next 2 games takes over for which, but yeah, we've got 2 Meteor Let's Plays coming up. They're not going to be quite as long as like Mass Effect 2 or anything like that, but they're still long Let's Plays. So on October the 6th, we are starting our journey through Fable 3. Now, I've done Fable 2. You guys know I love Fable 2. Didn't start with Fable 1 because I'm not that big of a fan of Fable 1. I actually don't like the game very much, if I'm going to be honest. But Fable 2 and 3 I love, and I always intended to get around to Fable 3 at some point. I've actually had this in the backlog for a while now. It basically picks up 50 years after the end of Fable 2. The story continues on pretty much from there. A lot of the locations will seem very similar and stuff. Bowerstone, for example, will be very similar to how it was in Fable 2. I also showcase all the DLC for this one as well, because I actually do own it. I don't know if I showcase every single secret the game has. If you did want to see like all the secrets and stuff, you can always go watch the QFB sessions, because I do showcase near enough 100% with those. Fable 3 is probably one of the few games I might get close to getting every achievement in, or at least most of them anyway. I don't really have a whole lot to say here, guys. It's gonna be an interesting one. I genuinely do like the Let's Play. You actually probably saw last year that I had a lost Let's Play for this game, which was only 2 parts. What happened was I lost that save file, so I had to restart from scratch, but it was only 2 parts, so it was like 30 minutes altogether, or something akin to that. I don't remember, maybe an hour, I genuinely don't remember. But I did mention in the description, reason was scrapped, and I put, obviously I lost the save file, and then I put probability of redo already either done or was in the process, I don't remember. But yeah, this is going to be starting pretty late on in the year, to be fair. It's not going to be starting until October the 8th, so nearly, well, just less than a year from now. 11 months, roughly. Oh, sorry, October the 6th, sorry, not October the 8th. October the 8th is the next one, which we'll go into in a moment. But yeah, that is going to be Fable 3 for the channel, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing it go live. I know it won't do well, because Fable doesn't do well in terms of views, but I genuinely do love Fable, so I'm looking forward to seeing that go live. And our final game, our final new game I should say, October the 8th, it is finally time for us to step back into the world of Pokemon with Pokemon Platinum. Now, I can't believe it's taken me this long to get to the next Pokemon game, because I actually do love Gens 1 through 5. I don't know why this took me so long. I think I was having issues with like the emulator for DS and stuff. Thankfully the emulator I was using for the recording didn't really have many issues. Maybe 1 or 2 screen tear moments here and there, but that was about it. Yes, I do showcase both screens on the video full time as well. The smaller screen, the bottom screen, well, whichever one it is that you use for the action commands in battle, that will be a much smaller screen on like to the side. Actually, there'll be a small video clip here anyway showcasing what I've done, so you guys can see how the layout looks. This one came out okay. I had some recording issues here and there. Like, I know at one point I'm pretty sure I lost recording audio. For me, my commentary disappeared. So I had to go back and redo a bunch of parts. Also, as much as I hate to say it, it only really showcases up to the Elite Four. Obviously, I do the Elite Four, I finish the game, I get the credits and all that stuff. There is post-game content in Platinum, and I did intend to do it. But what happened was, I originally was going to stop there, and then I was like, no, I'll go back and I'll do the post-game as well. I couldn't find the save file. So I thought, you know what, I am not scrapping this. This is a fairly long Let's Play. I'm not going to scrap it all just to have to restart, just so I have to do the post game. I can always go back and redo the Let's Play at some point in the future if I really want to. But I did not want to have to restart from scratch. And I could have redone a file. I could have played through the game just, normally, and done the the end game stuff there. I'm not saying that's completely out of the picture, but it's unlikely at this point. But it was just an annoyance, because I did intend to do that, and then I just couldn't, because I couldn't find the damn save file anymore. I don't know what happens to the save files all the time. It happens a lot. I don't even delete them a lot. I think maybe it's because I move folders and stuff around all the time. I screw things up. Who knows? But yeah, it's going to be a full Let's Play, like I say. Other than that, from the start of the game up until the end, all the main story marks are going to get hit. We don't really showcase much grinding either. I think I do most of that off screen, so you don't have to put up with that. It is mainly just going through the main story. I don't think it'll be as long as a wait between Pokemon Platinum and Pokemon Black and White. I'll be honest. I don't think the wait is going to be as long as the one between Emerald and Platinum was, because I do not know what took me so long to get to Platinum. I really don't. Admittedly, I've had this one on the backlog for a while, but still, I just really don't understand what took me so long to get to this. But yeah, it's going to be a fun little Let's Play. My rival is going to be Wiz this time. As you know, I usually call the rival one of my my buddies on Discord. Wiz has finally got the nod there. in the Pokemon Let's Play. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that when it comes out. And as I said and spoiled a little bit earlier, it will be October the 8th when the Let's Play begins. So again, it's going to be a while, but yeah, something to look forward to for the end of next year. And that is pretty much it for new content in terms of Let's Plays, but I actually do have one little thing to spoil here. I'm not going to go into depth too much with what's going to be happening, and I'm just going to get it up on the schedule here. First of all, we do have one last Let's Play, Final Fantasy 2, and the actual 2, not Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 2 from Dawn of Souls. I started this Let's Play, again, I believe it was a Let's Play I started when we were still living at the house. The Let's Play was actually going really well. It was probably one of my better Final Fantasy Let's Plays, to be fair. The issue I had was, once again, say it with me, I lost the save file. As soon as we moved, obviously it became a little bit more difficult to record stuff. It took me months to get my Muse back at all, so... by the time I did get my Muse back, I was thinking, okay, I'll continue on with Final Fantasy 2, and then I was like, I can't find the save file anywhere. So yeah, it's a good three and a half hours, somewhere along that line. I'm not entirely certain. And like I say, it's actually a pretty decent start to the Let's Play, in my opinion. So you know, if you want to go check that out, go check that out. It's right there. It'll be going live very, very soon. In fact, that's why I've been pressing buttons for, because I've been trying to find the date. Yeah, it's going to be live tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Okay, so I've got one final project going live on the channel that I want to talk about. So if you guys have checked out like my live stream mega playlist, you can see I love Dead by Daylight. You know, I play the game a lot in my spare time. I like recording achievement hunting for it as well. You know, it is very much my dive into just play the hell out of it for the fun of it and have a good time with it, or you know, get really, really frustrated and start fucking calling out the game, the Steam Deck, the fucking players I'm playing against, or the killer I'm playing against, whatever. It is what it is. But here's the thing, I originally was going to do some kind of Let's Play for this, but I don't think it's really possible to do it. So I wanted to do something on the channel that wasn't just like a live stream of the game. And I decided to start up the Ash to Iridescent challenge. Now what that means is you start out at Ash 4, which is rank 20, and Iridescent, go up to either Iridescent 1, which is rank 1. Basically my goal was to see how fast I could get it in terms of number of games and how long in terms of actual time. So here's the thing that's going to happen. On November the 14th, excuse me, which is this Friday coming, you'll have a intro video, which is basically me explaining all this in more in-depth, in an in-depth discussion over the course of about 10 minutes. And then about 15 minutes after that, day one of the actual recording will go live. So I'm not going to be doing commentary for the actual gameplay section, but I'll be doing commentary for the introduction video, as well as when we hit the credits and I talk about how the challenge went. Because I recorded the challenge like back in July, I think it was. Yeah, July. It took me 6 days, which meant I got 6 videos out of it. It's not going to go into how long the actual videos were altogether. You know, you guys can watch that yourselves, and you know, because if I tell you that, it'll give away how long it took. But these videos are going to go live every Friday until the challenge is finished. It's just a fun little thing to do. I do have a timer and all that, and you know, what rank am I currently at? Always in the corner, ready to, always at the bottom, ready to go. Again, just watch the prologue or the intro video, whatever you want to call it, and it'll give a full description of what it is that I'm doing. So there you go. And that's pretty much it for all the new stuff I've got coming up. So I'm just thinking, yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. So yeah, we can move on to the final section. So if you've decided to skip right to the end, welcome back. If you've been watching all the way through so far, thank you very much. So let's talk quickly about any changes on the channel that might be happening. First of all, I do want to talk about the streaming issue at the moment. I've done 1 or 2 little streams through the year. I'm probably not going to be doing too many. I've got way too much content that I'm currently making, not just for this channel, but obviously my sports channel as well. That takes up a lot of my free time, and to be fair, I don't really have the itch to go back to streaming more anyway. I might once every so often, but it's just not there enough for me to warrant doing streams with. But for the record, with the Quest of Booty sessions, originally this year was supposed to be 2 videos per week every Monday and Tuesdays. I would do an achievement hunting session on Monday, I would do a trophy hunting session on a Tuesday. That lasted until actually halfway through the year. I believe it was about June. I had to basically stop that. I basically was burning through my backlog of sessions really fast, and I didn't have next year's sessions even half done. Even at this point, I still don't quite have a full year. Even if I had done if even I count everything that's currently in the backlog now, and I was doing it as I was with 2 videos per week, yeah, I still don't have a full year. In fact, I don't even have 2/3 of a year done yet. It's just, it takes a long time to record sessions. The sessions can vary from 3 to sometimes 11 hours depending on what game I'm doing, and I just was burning out really quickly with that. So yeah, I had to go from Monday and Tuesday live streams for the QFBs to just Mondays. With it just being Mondays, it means I can schedule them properly. Also, if I have a longer video, it doesn't matter so much, and I'm not burned out for the next day. Like, let's say if Monday was like a fucking 10-hour video, and even if the Tuesday was only a 3, I'm still gonna be burned out from that 10-hour video on the Monday. Alright, I'm not actually doing anything, I'm just letting it play. But having to be there in the chat, make sure I can respond to any messages all the time and all that, and make sure the connection is decent enough throughout the entire session, it can be it can be a bit of a nightmare, especially when I'm trying to do other stuff in the background, like edit videos and stuff. And excuse me, I'm gonna have to spray because it's fairly warm in here. But yeah, for the foreseeable future, Monday is just going to be the only day we actually do a QFB session. But I'm going to say something right now as well. It's going to be a spoiler alert for next year. We're actually not just going to be sticking to PlayStation and Xbox. Because starting early next year, like the first week of next year, we've got 2 new series coming up with the QFBs. We've got Retro Achievements coming back, which is basically going to be covering anything that I can't do achievements on, which is going to be a lot of Nintendo stuff primarily. It's not only going to be Nintendo stuff, but that is going to be the main focus for the time being. I got it working, I got it fixed up. If you may remember, I did actually try this years and years ago when I first started doing the achievement hunting sessions. But I had to drop them just because I couldn't get them to work half the time. I finally figured out how to do it, and so far I've only really had one issue, but I got it working at the end of the day, which I'm glad about. As I said, it's going to be mainly Nintendo stuff, but not always Nintendo stuff. I'm not going to do any game that I can get achievements on elsewhere. So as much as I would like to, I'm not going to be doing Sonic games, particularly the old school Sonic games, because I can do those on Xbox, I can do those on PlayStation. It's going to be stuff like Pokemon, it's going to be stuff like Metroid, and if I was going to do a Sonic game, for example, it would have to be something like, I don't know, Sonic Heroes or something like that doesn't have achievements or trophies on PlayStation or Xbox. It's just, that is the plan, that is what I'm going to stick to. For now, we're just doing older Nintendo stuff, but again, that will change at some point. I will probably be doing, I don't know, let's come up with a decent example, shall we? How about the first WWF SmackDown game on PlayStation? I might get around to doing that for Retro Achievement at some point in the future. And obviously that was released on PlayStation, not on Nintendo, but there's no trophies for it because it's such an old game. So you get the idea with that. But Retro Achievements isn't the only new series of Quest of Booty I'm coming up with. We're also going to be doing Steam achievements. So I've created a secondary account on my Steam that's primarily just for this idea. The moment I haven't done many games for this. I've only done 2, where compared to the Retro Achievements I've already done 4. These will be games that I, again, not necessarily can do on other systems, but for stuff you will likely not see on other systems very often. I'll spoil it right now. One of the first Steam games we're going to be doing, Dead by Daylight. Big surprise. Obviously, it's a fresh game. It's a fresh account, so you won't see any of the stuff you've seen on the Xbox stuff. But it's also a way for me to get back into doing Dead by Daylight live streams if we're actually doing them and doing them as Quest of Booze, because the Xbox stuff will eventually come to an end with it, just because I have to pay for that, whereas this I don't actually have to pay for. I can place Dead by Daylight on Steam for free. So how this is going to work is, and I'll try and make this as very, very simple and straightforward as I possibly can. Week 1, Xbox. Week 2, PlayStation. Week 3, Xbox. Week 4, PlayStation. Week 5, retro achievements. Or, well, we'll just say retro achievements for now. Week 6, Xbox. Week 7, PlayStation. Week 8, Xbox. Week 9, PlayStation. Week 10, Steam. So there you go. Once every 5 weeks, we will be doing either retro achievements or Steam achievement, and we will alternate between those as well. So we'll get retro achievements on week 5, Steam achievements on week 10, retro achievements week 15, Steam achievements week 20, if you get my drift. I'm making it sound probably more difficult than it is. It's very simple, very straightforward, and you'll understand very easily enough. So you're still getting throughout the year roughly, I believe, around 40-ish Xbox and PlayStation achievements. Xbox and PlayStation Quest of Booty sessions, and then the other 10 to 12 are going to be obviously catered to retro achievements in Steam. So there you go. It's very simple and straightforward. We'll get into a rhythm with it very quickly. It won't take long for us to get used to it. And like I said, it's just for a bit of variety, guys, because I don't always fancy playing through one of the story-driven games. Sometimes you just want to sit down on your ass, play some Dead by Daylight. Sometimes you just want to sit down on your ass, play an old-school Nintendo game. And like I said, I would have loved to have done something with Nintendo, but they don't have anything to get in their games. You know, there's a reason my Switch is probably my most neglected 8th generation console, not 7th, whatever the hell it is. You know, it's just, it might even be 9th, I don't know. It just sort of sits there all the time, because I do enjoy playing it every so often, but there's no reason for me to play it other than for Nintendo IPs, and you know, after a while I get bored of them. I move on. I don't even have the temptation achievements or trophies or something for the Nintendo to play the game with. So like I said, retro achievement comes in handy with that. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done at this point, guys. As I said, I'm still very busy with my Cyber Sports Center channel as well. If you are at all interested in seeing simulated sports, you know, been played out in tournaments and stuff like that, and competitions, or you like wrestling and you want to see 2K Universe go from the mid-80s up until, well, I say modern day, but I've only currently in the early 90s at this point. But we have hundreds of videos there as well for that, if you want to go check it out. I actually have been having a bit of a surge on that channel as well. We're not quite at 100 subscribers yet, but we will probably hit it next year, I'm hoping. But yeah, if you're all interested in that, go check it out. I do put a lot of work and time into that channel, probably more so than this one, because obviously with this one I only have to do Let's Plays and stuff. With that one I actually do have to put a lot more editing time in the videos. So like I said, guys, at the top of the hour or whatever it has been going, I'm not actually sure at this point. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this. It depends entirely on how that online safety act goes with YouTube. Hopefully this time next year I'll be able to do a retrospective on for the 13th year anniversary, for the year 13 anniversary, but we'll see how things go. Thank you very much for watching, boys and girls. I will see you guys next time, hopefully, and until then, sayonara.